Hi, I'm Gadis of Made by Mutiara and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my March 2021 bullet journal setup, and it's very much inspired by my love of painting galaxies and night skies. If you've always wanted to paint galaxies or some sort of gradient night sky, then I hope this video is helpful in showing you how I do it. I had so much fun using my handmade paints for this spread, and if you want to know what I use, I'll definitely link them down below. And yeah, enjoy watching the video. The bullet journal that I'm using today is the Gentle Giant Suki Bullet Journal from Notebook Therapy. And since this spread is very painting heavy, the first thing I do is to always put a scrap piece of paper behind to protect all of the other pages just in case. And to create very nice lines after I'm done with the painting, I use washi tape to mark out all the parts first. The watercolours I'll be using today are all handmade watercolours, with the neon green and the blue ones being from Brillanza Colours, and the dark bluish black colour is a shade Storm from Aloha Watercolours. And I think these colours do very well to make a very nice northern lights type of night sky. One thing to note is that these bullet journal pages are very different from watercolor paper, so I definitely had to use a lot of water to blend them together. And sometimes what I do to create the intermediate colour between neon green and blue is to mix them separately on this metal lid that I use as a palette, just so that it's easier to blend them and make that nice gradient in the end. But if it doesn't blend well, it's okay, because the thing with galaxies, it doesn't have to be perfect. Everything will be okay once you add the stars. And for that, I use my very favorite bleed-proof white from Dr. Paige Martins. All I do is to pick up some of the paint with my brush and then just tap, 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 tap slowly all over the parts that I want to have stars. Now I'm going to be adding some trees at the bottom here, and it's the same paint color that I use for the darkest part of the sky. And I think this is the easiest part of the entire painting, because you can't really go wrong with trees. And I think you can even use a brush pen if you want to do this part, because then you can draw the straight lines very easily. And all you have to do is just do all these short strokes, I cannot even say that word, short strokes to create the leaves and the branches going outwards. And once I removed the washi tape, I wanted the trees to branch out onto the rest of the page. And yeah, this is what I did, and I like how it turned out in the end. To finish off this page, I'm going to be lettering the word March using bleed-proof white. And this is one of the reasons why I love this paint so much, because oh my goodness, look at how opaque it is, and it's so nice once it's dry. Of course, the consistency is very important, so make sure it's not too watery, because what happens is that the paint behind might be blended into the white paint you paint over it later on. And with the same paint, I'm going to add in a northern star in the middle and also some falling meteors at the back. So while we are waiting for that one to dry, we're going to move on to the quote page. I'm using this very thin washi tape to create this geometric triangular border, which I sketched out with the pencil first. And since the cover page in the middle has color, so I thought of doing the reverse for the quote page instead. So for all of the triangles, I'm going to be blending two of the colors and then using different color combinations. And this is actually a good way to practice your blends, because the area is not so big. So you can just do it slowly and see what kind of consistency of paint works best to create that smooth blend. And while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm gonna fill in the shadows for the word March from the cover page. And I'm using the dual tip brush pen from Tombow, which has one side of a grey tip and one side that is a black tip. And woohoo! Once the paint is dry, it's time to remove the washi tape, which is my favorite part of the entire process. Look at how satisfying, look at how clean the lines are, it's so nice. At the very middle of this page, I'm doing my quote of the month, which for me is to celebrate every win, no matter how small. And the reason why I chose this quote is because lately I've been finding myself being, very imposter-y syndrome-y. So I thought like, hey, you know what? I have to remind myself that any sort of progress that I make, I have to acknowledge it to the best of my ability. So yeah, if you need quotes to get you out of that hole, then I hope that this is something that can lift you up as well. And for the finishing touches, we're gonna splatter on some stars. And something that you can also do is to add on with the Uniball Signal White gel pen to either create more stars or even draw rockets. And you can hear Tina in the background scratching pose, so sorry for that. And yeah, once it's done, I'm so happy with how these two pages turned out. And as you can see, not much bleeding happened once the painting is dry, so 10 out of 10, recommend Notebook Therapy Suki Bullet Journals if you ever want to do painting for your spreads. Next, we're gonna do the monthly spread for the month of March, and I'm gonna start it off by drawing my horizontal calendar. This is the page where I also write in any of the important dates to note, like holidays, birthdays, or any deadlines I might need to take note of. And I also use this space to journal anything that has happened in my day, like maybe something I'm grateful for or something new I've watched. So this is more of like a day in a glance type of concept when it comes to my monthly calendar. And as always, I'm gonna do the washi tape up first, but unfortunately my camera died, so here's what it looks like. And I'm just gonna color in these parts of the triangles and the diamonds with the same concept that I did on the first two pages. And of course, if you use too much water, no worries, just take a bit of a paper towel to mop up the excess. And then you can also use your brush to like even out or try to make the gradient a bit smoother. And once that's done, I just add the stars very carefully using the same technique from the first two pages, and then remove the washi tape and see if there's any bleed through that happened, but thankfully there's no bleed through. And in keeping with the theme, I painted some trees, and I also tried painting some black clouds. After I'm done, I didn't end up liking them, but oh, never mind. So moving on. For the headers of the week, I did do some brush lettering using the blues and greens of the Pentel Sign brush pen. And initially, I did want to letter the entire word Monday, but I actually didn't have enough space, so I ended up just lettering the first syllable. So let's pretend I meant to do that. And once that's done, I'm going to annotate the legend of my mood tracker with these highlighter colors to indicate whether I'm having a good day, bad day, okay day, or not so good day. And I like keeping this part simple so that it's easy for me to look at it and see which one represents the mood of my day in the end. And in case you're wondering, I highlight the top bar that you see of each day with each different color highlighter. So yeah, my monthly page does function as my mood tracker as well. For my weekly pages, I'm going to start off by cutting off the top part of the next 4 pages to create a Dutch door so that my habit tracker is visible for the entire month. I leave a total of 9 lines for 7 habit trackers and 1 space above and below. And yeah, I'm just going to draw the grid with a light colored blue turquoise pen, and then I'll fill in the rest of the parts later on. Once that's done, I'm going to use washi tape to mark out all the parts that I'm going to paint. And like I said, the process is very similar to what you have seen earlier, so I'm just going to speed this up. For my weekly spreads, I like to use the Alastair method or the rolling weekly method as some may call it, which I learned from Boho Berry. And if you want to learn more about this method of tracking tasks, I'll leave the link to that video down below, or you can click the video up in the corner over here. And the page on the left, this is where I note my daily tasks to do for that day. Like, oh, I need to get chores done, I need to get this done. So yeah, the only thing that's different within all of the different weekly pages is that I like to change up the layout here and there and use maybe a different medium like these Tombow Duo brush pens. I tried my best to use like the same colors, but I realized the green is the wrong shade of neon green. So don't mind that, but yeah, make use of your other mediums to help add in the details as well. And to finish off the page, we're just gonna add the stars, paint the trees, and then of course write in all of my habits, which are mostly tracking my sleep, my skincare, my healthy habits, and of course my social media activity as well. I also like to include my focus of the month, and at first I used the Uniball Signal pen, but it didn't really write well on the paint. I think it wasn't dry yet, so I ended up using the Dr. P.H. Martin white paint instead. And what's my focus of the month of March? It's these 3 things to hopefully improve my productivity. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I am going to try implementing time blocking, where I am going to be intentional about when I'm doing my tasks, and hopefully this helps me to build up this more productive, sustainable habit in the long run. For the next few weekly spreads, I'm gonna speed up the process to show you how I set them up, but they are more or less the same aesthetic as the first 3 pages that you have seen, but with different variations of how I do my weekly layout and my rolling weekly tasks. I personally prefer to set up the spreads for the whole month all at once instead of doing 1 week at a time. I think also because I might as well just get all the painting out of the way. So yeah, I hope you enjoy watching how I set up weeks 2, 3 and 4. Like I said, it's a lot of painting involved, but I hope you can see that the final outcome and effect is pretty nice in the end. Well, I think it's pretty nice. Without further ado, here is the full flip through of my March bullet journal spread. And that's it for my bullet journal setup. I had so much fun with it and I hope you do too. So let me know down in the comments which is your favorite page, and I would welcome any suggestions of what to do for my next bullet journal theme. Can I just say how drastic the transition is from neon to this blue? I don't mind it, but oh my gosh, it's like 2 different worlds. Like, who even am I? But yeah, if you want to know how I did this neon galaxy theme, you can of course check out my last bullet journal video. I have the link up here. Every video, I love to do a shout out to one of you as a thank you, and today my shout out goes to Sharon. Thank you so much, Sharon, for sharing my last video inside your Insta stories where I did all about handmade paint. So if you're interested to know about what my handmade paint collection looks like, then go and check it out in the link over here or down in the comments below. And yeah, if you want a shout out in my next video, then just leave any comment down below or share this inside your Insta stories, and don't forget to tag me at Made by Mutiara. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. If you want to watch more, subscribe to my channel, and of course press that bell to be notified when I upload a new video. Thank you again for all of your support. I'll see you in the next video.